Hey, it's not Steve. Today, we break down the NFL remaining playoff contenders and talk about the scenarios that can put them in the postseason. After having a brief division lead, the New York Jets are now officially out of contention. What must be done now? Jim Boeheim reaches 900 career wins. Thoughts? Are the guys happy with their team's place in terms of playoff contention? All this and more in the December 18th show podcast. Podcast starts right now.
Let's start with your Cowboys, man. I mean,
Oh, perfect start. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, because look, they beat the Steelers. No, I'm not gonna say I'm surprised. I mean, I did go against you. I think
I
Rob,
am surprised.
I think Rob just got me really excited, and I didn't really think it out too much. You know what? I'm gonna go Steelers in this one, and then I got it wrong, and
What?
it was a good close game. It was a very important win for Dallas, because now they're tied with the Redskins, tied with the Giants. The thing is that the Redskins and the Cowboys have an advantage right now. Like, they're breaking the tie because of the division record and everything. And the Giants right now, what they need to win their last remaining games, and they need to hope that Dallas or Washington loses one of their games. That's what needs to happen so the Giants are in the playoffs. So technically, right now, they're out of the playoffs. That's pretty strange, huh?
Nope. I predicted it.
I mean, yeah, it's very hard for a winner of the Super Bowl to be in the playoffs easily the following season. For some reason, they always struggle. Like, it's not easy for you to win the title, come back and defend it, no difficulty whatsoever, because you have the draft in between, you have the off season, you have the season, of course. It's just kind of hard for you to repeat again. If you do it once, you're not going to do it
Everybody coming at
again.
you with more intensity now because they know that you're the best. You're the best of the best.
Yeah.
You got the top.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, if they miss the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I'm kind of surprised by how they're struggling, and I'm kind of surprised.
Yes, I am surprised about that. I did think that their defense would be playing better. I did think their offense would be playing better. Like, I never thought that the Giants would be shut out in a game.
How about
They
that,
got-
man? How about that? 34-0, I think it was, right?
Nothing. Shorty 34, nothing.
Yeah. How about that, man? How about that? I mean, Falcons offense, not surprised. They have it. Defense, they have it. They were in Atlanta, and it's hard to play in Atlanta. So I'm not surprised at all that they won. But 34-0. Like, did you have David Carr in there at all, or what happened? I mean,
Oh, he was in there.
what happened? Like, that was horrible. It was like if they didn't even play that day. They just got the loss because they had to get the loss. I don't know what happened to the Giants, man. It's like if they didn't even play that day.
Yeah, he ain't gonna play.
Like, really? That was horrible, man. Cowboys did way better than the Giants did last week. Like, the Cowboys, props to them, man. That was a very nice win there. I mean, they're winning so far. They beat the Bengals, important game. Beat the Steelers, important game. They're doing it. They're doing what they need to do, man.
Yeah.
Now, they have an advantage over the Giants just because of the division record and everything. But that doesn't really guarantee anything just yet. They still need to keep on winning. If I'm not mistaken, the Redskins play the Cowboys, I think, this upcoming week, or something like that.
I think so.
See, that's important. I think the winner of that.
That's going to be that's going to be a season changer right there.
Yeah, because I think the winner of that. No, it's actually Redskins Eagles. My bad. Oh wow, not even close. Redskins Eagles, and then you have Cowboys hosting the Saints. So they're not playing each other, but they're playing key games.
Yeah.
They're playing key games. You have Dallas at home, so they have a shot. They're playing the Saints. And then
I get nervous when Dallas play at home, man. It seems like they lose all control of themselves when they get home.
I think they got pretty lucky, dude. That they won down the wire against the Steelers. That was a close game, man.
Sure did. They better hope they get some more luck for the next 2 games of the season.
You know,
and at least get some luck in the first round, because I'm getting sick of getting thrown out the first round.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to have a champion representing the league and everything, I don't want my champion to be winning games based off of luck, man. I mean, to be honest, the Cowboys right now, I'm happy they're about, you know, they're really close to making the playoffs. They really are. Really close. But I don't like my champion to be full of luck. I like a lot of skill in there to be as well. I mean, look at the...
Well, if you're going to win a Super Bowl, it takes luck and skill.
Yeah. And the Cowboys, they have some skill. I mean, why would you make the playoffs? Because you have skill. And they have, of course, they have luck. You know? So you have them both. But it's just not sufficient. It's not. And there's just so much competition. I just unfortunately think that they're probably going to be like the Broncos of last season. Maybe win the first round, and then you're pretty much done.
You think the Broncos are going to do that this year?
Oh, no. I really like the Broncos, man. I think they got what it takes to at least make the Super Bowl this year. I really do.
Me too.
No, they're amazing.
Remember what I said in the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
About Manning?
And I never doubted it. Man.
I called that early.
Yeah, I never doubted it. I just didn't want to put it on the record just yet. You know, I just didn't. I just left it to Peyton Manning. I mean, I know he can do it, but we'll just see exactly how well he can be, and we've seen it so far. It's impressive.
Definitely. That man is phenomenal.
It's just really impressive, man. But yeah, last night the Jets lost to the Titans. No, not surprised. Didn't watch it because it's probably one of the... I mean, what a way to close out Monday Night Football. I mean, are you really going to give us Jets Titans? That the only people that care are the Jets fans?
Yep, that's the only people that care.
Maybe the Giants fans, just because, you know, so you can make fun of them a little bit. But, you know, the only people that care about it, Jets fans. And they got it. They got what they deserve. Out of the door. You know, they're out.
What they should have done was, I ain't gonna lie. If I was the coach, I would have put Tebow in, man.
Everybody was chanting for Tebow, man. They were like, Tebow.
Why pick him up and not put him in? Start him. Obviously, your first quarterback is not getting you the answers. So now you gotta make a change. It's time to make a change. What you call it? I think the coach should get fired for that, not making that decision.
I really think it's embarrassing because you could have prevented this loss last night by putting Tebow in. Well, you could have tried that. I'm, you know, as you said, change. You know, I'm definitely agree with change. I never mind change. I'm always welcome to change. So why not try Tebow? Why not try him? I mean, I don't love the guy, but I don't hate the guy. You know, just put him on the field, see what he can do. So I wouldn't mind the change. However, you had that chance to bring him in. You didn't do that, and you never did it during the season. You always said Sanchez is the guy.
And then they played him that in that other game where they put that guy in the third string over him.
Yeah, I mean, McElroy, for example, I like him. I like him actually.
Would you after you go and trade for Tebow and knock him down in
third
string?
Yeah, I get that.
You're gonna go and not put Tebow in now?
Yeah.
Goddamn sense.
I do agree with that, though. Like, if you're going to trade for Tebow, bring him in, and then you're going to put McElroy over him, that's kind of messed up right there. I mean, I know McElroy should have gotten, like, maybe give him a start, see what he can do. I would like to see that. But if you're going to trade for Tebow, now you have 3 guys. Now that's messed up.
Yep.
I mean, why not only keep 2 guys and let Tebow go to somewhere else? Yep. Jaguars or Rams?
If you ask me, I think you should have went to the Jags.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even though you would have Gabbert, you would have Henny, you would have Tebow.
Gabbert, I don't really like Gabbert.
No, yeah, but Henny, look at Henny, man. He had a good game a few weeks back.
Starting.
Oh yeah, I mean he started with the Dolphins. He was average. He was average, barely below average. He was right there, you know, average.
He was good for what he was good for his first year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's your regular I would say new quarterbacks style play. Like level of play. When you go to RG3, now you go into superstar status. When you just come out the box, you're just doing great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm really disappointed by I mean, the Lions. A lot of people say the Lions. Of course, a lot of people say the Jets, even though that could have been prevented. Eagles, of course, are in there. But I'm really disappointed by the Chiefs, man. Really disappointed by the Chiefs.
I'm very disappointed by the Chiefs.
I had them competing for a wild card spot, man. Like, no lie. Not winning the division, but competing for a wild card spot. In the position of the Cowboys, for example. That deep into the consideration.
I call them my sleeper.
That's right. They always have been. But now they literally slept. They literally listened to the word sleeper. They went to sleep.
They took it literally.
And when they wake up, they're beating teams like the Panthers, and they're shooting other guys. That's the only time they wake up.
Yep.
Are you really? I mean, that's horrible. And now you're gonna get the first pick and say, how did we get this in the first place? I mean, last year didn't we compete? Like, weren't we in the playoff hunt? And now we're thinking about getting someone in the first round, first pick.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, but of course, it's never locked because wait, do you even have NFL, like a lottery in the NFL? Never even noticed if you do have a lottery.
Yeah, I think it is a lottery.
Okay, so it's not really locked. It's not really locked though, I guess, because look what happened to the Bobcats. They lost to the Hornets, for example. So you never really know, but right now the Chiefs have it. Everybody's asking themselves how it all changed from a playoff contender to a complete worst team in the league,
Yes.
How did all that happen? But you have key games coming up, man. Key games. Saints-Cowboys. That's going to be very interesting.
That's going to be a good game.
Oh, man. I haven't seen that game for a while. I don't even think they've scheduled that for a while, man. That's a big one.
Yeah, I want to see that game.
That's like one of those games that you're going to say, I know it's not all important because of the Saints, but you're going to say, heck, it's free football. I get to see Drew Brees taking on a playoff contender. It's going to be a very interesting game. And
the Saints, they've been playing better lately, so, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. But as I said, that's pretty much the Giants scenario. They need to win the remaining games. Hope that the Dallas loses to the Saints. That would work. Hope that the Redskins lose to the Eagles. That would work. If both of them lose, that would definitely work. Pretty much something along those lines. And I can really see one of them losing. I mean, why can't the Eagles beat the Redskins or the Saints beat the Cowboys? That can happen. Those are two interesting games. So, it can happen. The Giants are definitely not eliminated. Scenario, you can have the Redskins losing or the Cowboys losing. That can happen. And if you have them both losing, that's going to help out the Giants, which you don't want that to happen because if your team loses and if the Redskins lose, you need to prepare, man, because the Giants can definitely make it in. So that's going to be very important. That's going to be very important. Very important. So, it's going to be very interesting, man. You also had the Seahawks, of course. I like where we're at. We destroyed the Bills, not surprised. I am surprised by Russell Wilson, man. 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half.
Jeez.
First half. I'm telling you, that guy's a complete quarterback.
He's nice. I ain't going to lie. He's nice.
The only thing he's missing is height. That's it. He's got the arm. He can run. He's got the youth. He's quick. He's a good leader. He's smart. I mean, he's got it all.
True story. I cannot argue that point right there. I like his whole style,
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty darn good, man. Wow. But, yeah, as I said, the Seahawks, I really like our position. We're playing the 49ers in Seattle. So I like that advantage. And, of course, you have the 49ers. They took the Patriots down. Also a big game. So it's going to be tough for us to beat a team that beat the Patriots in a high-scoring game, that beat them in Foxborough. So it's going to be tough, you know. But in Seattle, we can move pieces in Seattle. We can do productive things, you know. So I like our position because all we need is beat the 49ers. We have a shot at winning.
Tough game.
Yeah, it is. But all we need is beat the 49ers, and we're in the playoffs. We already get the wild card. But we have a shot at winning the division as well. So, all we need is to win this, and we're in the playoffs. If you want more, apart from wild card, win more games, and we can win the division. But win this one, and we're in the playoffs. So,
yeah.
And the 49ers, win this one, clinch the division. So, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. So you have the Cowboys and the Seahawks in good places. Even though, I don't know who's having the hardest road. I mean, who do you think is going to have the hardest road during the next couple weeks? The Cowboys or the Seahawks? Who do you think is going to go through the hardest moments?
Dallas, because they tend to like get nervous when it's crunch time, so it's like more nervous than everybody else. So it's like they choke up. They have a tendency to choke up when it's crunch time. So I say them because they gotta fight that choke up syndrome they got.
Yeah, because if you look at it, the Seahawks aren't really competing against anybody. They're competing against themselves to make the wild card or win the division. It's up to them. Now the Cowboys, they have to go against the Giants and the Redskins to actually keep on going upwards. I mean, of course, the Seahawks have to battle the wild card contenders, including your Cowboys. You know,
Yeah.
the Seahawks have to go against wild card contenders like the Vikings and the Cowboys. So you do go against those teams, but I think the Cowboys are definitely going through the hardest because you're fighting
definitely.
in division and you're also fighting for the wild card against the Vikings and the Seahawks. So
we gotta make it work. I know that much.
it would be awesome if both of our teams are in, man. You know?
And that's nuts.
I would really like that to happen. Cowboys and the Seahawks in the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be good money right there.
But don't be surprised if they schedule us to play each other in the first round, man.
Oh, I love that.
Seahawks at the Cowboys to make it even, since you guys already traveled to Seattle.
That'd be a like a revenge match.
No, I'm prepared to take you down, though, man. I'm prepared.
Prepare to have your ears filled up with that jibber jabber, because I'm gonna be running my jibs the next day about how my Dows put that W on your Seahawks.
Dude, that's going to be an interesting game, man. Because both of them, they always tend to miss the playoffs by such a small margin. And one of them is obviously going to leave in the first round. That's going to be really, really mad coaches, mad cities right there, man. I mean, two teams that haven't made deep in the playoffs, like, for a long time. And you have to play each other. Like, why not schedule me against someone else? I mean, why does it have to be against the Cowboys? Or against the Seahawks if you're a Cowboy, you know? Like, why does it have to be this matchup? Why not against the Packers? At least have some challenge.
Yeah, there's a lot of great teams out there, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if they give us the Packers again. Oh, I'm prepared to take them down.
I'd rather play the Packers.
Yeah, I know. That would be interesting. Packers, Cowboys. I would like to see that one as well, man. It stinks for you guys, though, because you're obviously the underdogs there. But you can beat them. You can beat them.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they'll probably take you all the way to Green Bay, but you can still win.
Hey, we down to get down. We coming in for that win. We coming to get that W.
Yeah.
We taking on. Matter of fact, I'm stating it now. We taking on all competitors.
Yeah. Now they were talking about Romo. You know, now they're talking about Romo, how good he is, and I really don't think he's the only issue the Cowboys have. Like, I'm not saying he is an issue. Like,
they need work on defense.
yeah, like they can have him and be in the Super Bowl. That really has nothing to do. Like, he's all right. You know, he's good enough for what they have now and everything. He's good enough. I wonder how many wins they would get without him. You know, that's what they were saying, and that's what I agree with. How many wins would he have without him? Let's say if you start Kyle Orton every week. How many wins?
Exactly. Why do you think he's still starting?
He's alright. He really is. He's alright. I like his game. You know? I like his game. I mean, of course he fumbles sometimes. Interceptions.
Yeah.
I don't think as often as Vic, that's for sure. But I like his game. He can play. So,
Oh, definitely.
I mean, he can compete with Big Ben. You know, I know it's not the biggest challenge, but he can compete.
I think he's on that level. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's good enough. They've got that fixed. You know, the issue is outside the quarterback position. So
Yeah.
we'll see, man. It's gonna be interesting down the wire. You know. So,
They need people to step up. You know,
oh,
the,
yeah.
the line needs to keep playing good. They gotta have the running back step up. They gotta mix the plays up. You know, the play coordinator, he gotta use the run. He gotta keep a balanced offense. Sometimes he don't do that. He just want to pass. You can't do that. You gotta have a balanced offense.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see how our Cowboys and our Seahawks do. They have very important games coming up. Alright, so now we also mentioned the Falcons, for example. Personally, one of the teams that I despise coming to the playoffs because they always miss out. You know, they always miss out in the playoff games.
Yeah.
So now the issue here is, you know, Falcons, they destroyed the Giants, which I'm not surprised they won. I am surprised by how bad they won. You know, how beast they played. Now, of course, we know how hard it is to play in Atlanta, how good their defense is. How legit do they look, though, man? Like, what are their chances that they won't leave early in the playoffs again?
Who?
The Falcons.
The Falcons?
Yeah.
Man, you never know. They had a great team last year, and they had potential on defense and offense to push them to the next level. They just didn't show up to play.
Yeah, man. They didn't. I mean, it all depends on the schedule. I think you need to leave it up to the schedule. Because, of course, if the Giants miss out on the playoffs, which is what it looks like right now, you can have them playing a team like the Cowboys.
Yep.
Again, which they already played. That is always an interesting game to watch. I really think whoever the Cowboys play can be an interesting match.
I agree.
Except if they play a team like the Jaguars or the Browns or the Chiefs. Okay, not those games.
They might blow them out.
Or even the Jets. Jets, Cowboys. Not the best matchup. But you know, if you have the Falcons and the Cowboys again, that would be interesting. But I mean, there's always that chance that they'll leave in the first round again. There's always that chance. And the playoffs is a completely new story. It's like starting from zero wins. You have to stack up a couple wins to get all the way to the major game. So, we'll see. I like their team. Of course, it's the season. They're looking really beast. And they're looking better than last year. Now, it depends in the playoffs. Maybe they even play worse than last year.
Yeah, you never know.
So, we'll see, man. We'll see. But right now, I really like their team. So, as I mentioned, you have the Jets officially eliminated after they lost to Tennessee. What do you think their off-season target should be? What should they focus on, since technically their off-season already started? Coach?
Gotta get a new coach. And
Yeah.
gotta get a coach that has coached the team before and has showed that he can win.
Yeah.
Has a winning record.
Yeah. I mean, where would you look at, though? Like, what? I mean, where do you think the coaches would be found at?
I would try my best to go get what's the Steelers old coach?
Okay.
Cower.
Yeah.
And or Parcells.
Okay. That can work. That can work. It all depends if they would agree, though, because...
Yep. If you get them to agree, you got a winning team because they know how to coach.
To be honest, I don't think they're gonna want to be with a team like the Jets, man. That's a huge responsibility.
They probably wouldn't, but you know that they can. That would be the type of coach that would get them out of their hole.
Because if Peyton Manning would have gone to the Jets, for example, he wouldn't even be in that drama in the first place. I mean, do you think Peyton Manning would have given the Jets 10 wins? I don't think so.
Yep, if they had a different coach.
Different coach and more pieces.
No, I think they would get far. It's the damn coaching. They got a decent team. They got a decent offense, because you see when Sanchez is on his A game and he actually plays with some heart, they win games, and they produce good offensive numbers. It's just that they got bad coaching, and Sanchez ain't that great of a quarterback. You never know what you're gonna get with Sanchez.
Yeah. I mean, where should they start? That's a question though. Where exactly should they start? Like, I mean, of course, the focus is coaching, looking for a new coach. But how do you think they should start looking for a coach? Like, what do you think they should do first?
They gotta make like a checklist of what they're looking for in a coach.
Okay. Yeah. It really depends whether or not they're willing, though, to take the job, because sometimes they're offering, but they don't accept. So hopefully they would accept to your interest, you know.
Yeah.
That's a problem, because they're just scared of the organization, man. They're scared. They're worried, you know, that it'll be a failure, and they'll be in there, and they'll still lose games, because they can do even worse. They can do worse than what they did this season. They can do worse than 6 wins.
I totally agree with you.
They can do worse, because they have a little bit of a team there. You know, they have a little bit of a team there. So that's why they got 6 wins. That's why they were considered a playoff contender. Because they have a team. They have a little bit of a team there. They have some organization, you know. But you don't have enough. You don't have enough. And you can see how that failed last night. You know, you don't have enough. You don't.
This is true, sweet brother Noonsay. This is true, sweet brother Noonsay.
I mean, what do the Jets fans want to be happy? Do you want them to be scheduled to play the Browns last night so they can make the playoffs? I mean, is that what they want? Oh, give us a bad team like the Browns so we can make the playoffs. Because it's your fault that you gave us the Titans that we're not in. Oh, it's the schedule's fault, man. It's the schedule's fault. Like,
it's retarded.
Like, literally, they probably want a team like the Browns. Oh, it's because we didn't play the Browns, man. We could have been in the playoffs. It's because you gave us the Titans. The Titans aren't the best team. They're still in the bottom 5. Still. I mean, they really are. And I'm kind of disappointed with the Titans as well. You know? Every year.
They've been playing horrible.
Every year they've been contending. They've been in there. They've been in the hunt. So, I think most of the league has been disappointing, man. I think most of the league. I really do. You know? Because even the Texans have disappointed in some point of the season. You know? Some point of the season.
Yeah, this is true.
I think the Texans looked better last year than they look this year. You know? Same with the Bengals. Look how hard it's getting for them to be in the playoffs. They're hanging in there.
Well, I like the Bengals, man. The Bengals, they got some game.
Oh yeah, I like them, but I think they were better last year than this year. So in some way, they're disappointing.
Yeah, they are.
And then you have the Dolphins, of course. They're still out. So another losing season for them, in some way. I mean, they can't get a winning season anymore. They have 8 losses. But they're still not achieving what they want to do. So most of the league is disappointing, man. It really is. Really disappointing.
It's been an up and down season for a lot of teams.
Yeah. I mean, I love the football this season. It was a great season in terms of football. You know, the schedule was looking great. But the team's performance, like if you compare it with last season, it's been disappointing. You know?
Yeah.
But the games, the content.
You got a lot of change going on and all that. So, because a lot of teams trying to become the best of the best, and they done redid their roster or something, and they're all mixed up. You got a lot of teams like look at Dallas division. There, you got on the top of the division. The record is like 8-6. Like why ain't there a team in there that is like 11-9? I mean 11-4 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? 10-6 or whatever. Or, you know, it's like they're barely getting over 500.
We also have Jim Boeheim from Syracuse, of course, the 900 wins. Well, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I kind of lean towards Boeheim on his 900th wins, where he's really not even concerned too much about that. This is his 37th year with the Oranges at Syracuse. He said after the game that with the stuff that's been happening over the last week, it really hasn't even affected him. There's only 2 other coaches in history that have more wins, and it looks to be over the next week or so. Bobby Knight, who has 902 career wins, will be surpassed by Boeheim. And the only other one was Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. Well, actually, take that back. He coached for both Army and Duke, who has 938. It looks like Boeheim will most likely beat that as well. But the last comments Boeheim made after his win over Detroit was actually pertaining to the number 2 of the children that were buried Monday following the disaster that happened in Connecticut last week.
It's the SP Show podcast on SPS Radio on YouTube. It's the SP Show. Thanks for listening, and we are on SPS Radio on YouTube. It's the SP Show.